Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from everywhere you are. I'm so happy to be here with another session with Microsoft Zero to Hero. I'm so great. It's the sunny day. We have a great session. Before to kick off the main session, let me share some slide about the community, about the Zero to Hero and Microsoft Learn. Yeah. Today we have Muhammad. He's here. He wants to talk about build and deploy your web server in the Azure. It's very useful for routing of your live or work experience. Actually, there are demo to deploy in the real example. And as you know, we are part of Microsoft Learn community. Microsoft Learn is a central hub, a collection of learning content based off your career, based off your certification. You can choose your learning path. You can ask your question from a lot of Learn experts. Also, you can join aka.ms Microsoft Learn community. And this is a Microsoft Zero Hero calendar, and you can register and reserve your seat for future and all of previous session uploaded on our YouTube channel. The last slide is our code of conduct. Be aware of other, be friendly and patient, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all question, viewpoint, be understanding of difference, be kind and consider to other in the chat, in the question, the voice. Great. The time is to add Muhammad in the stage. Hello, you are mute.
Hello everyone.
Hello, how are you, Muhammad?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you, thank you, thank you. Be here, you being here, and the topic actually is very interesting and very useful. And I think everyone can deploy their web server on the website or on the Azure. It's very useful.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. You can let me add your presentation on the stage, and I see you can start. Good luck.
Okay. Okay. So let's start the session. So today's topic is build and deploy setting up your web server on Azure. So starting with my short introduction. So by profession, I'm a cloud engineer and I'm also serving as one of the expert advisor at Microsoft for Startup. I'm Microsoft MVP in Azure and Developer Technologies. I am also a Gold Microsoft Line Student Ambassador, Microsoft Certified, and currently leading MLSA Karachi in my home town. So this is a short introduction about me. So without further delay, let's move towards the topic. So this is the today's agenda. We'll be starting from like we want to deploy the server, but first we'll just a sneak peek into what is cloud computing, why do we need cloud computing, and then what are cloud service model and how to get started with Azure Cloud, and then finally we'll do the demo and see how Azure will act in action. And yes, we have learning resource for you guys so that you can learn further uh, by your own as well. Okay, so this is the very hot topic nowadays, and AI everywhere. And AI is learning so hard that it is tackling a lot of issues, problems, and working as your assistant. Nowadays, you have heard about AI agentic. So AI agents are working so hard for you, even handling the queries, building a solution for you, and yeah, we're doing a lot of hard stuff and working tirelessly to give the better result. And here you can see on the left hand side picture, the machine is learning. And on right hand side, you can see the brain of the machine is growing bigger and bigger. And it is taking the compute juice, or you can say a coffee, to keep running on. So that's how we are seeing nowadays, like AI is working so hard and it's required a lot of compute to run and process the information that we are giving. So it is like if we go to our high school and just like memorize how computer works, we give input, it process and give us output. So it's working similarly nowadays, but now it is more intelligent, more efficient, and giving result in a lesser time. So all of this is happening because of the artificial intelligence. But have you ever wondered what is running behind the AI and how AI is working so well? So it is a compute that is helping AI to running and giving the better response. And yeah, again, AI using compute resources to train the models and a lot of stuff. So today's topic is not AI, just to give you an overview. Like nowadays, AI is hot topic, and will be connecting here, like how it will be useful nowadays. Like we need to understand this thing because in upcoming slides we'll be going to discuss that how you can deploy your own web server. So just an idea here. So here you can see the brain of the computer is coming out. So I edit the GIF. I don't know why it's not working, but to solve this thing, we have again a technology. So technology is solving their problems using the technology. So uh, moving to next slide. So just a basic overview of what is cloud computing. Maybe you are a student or just getting started, or maybe you are a professional and deploying a lot of stuff. But have you ever thought why what is cloud computing? Like we hearing this term a lot nowadays, and we are seeing the arising demand of the cloud computing. So what actually it is? So if we want to understand the cloud computing, so we can understand with a simple library example. We all go to the library, we borrow the books whenever we needed them without buying or storing them in your own house, or even storing in your own backpack. In the same way, cloud computing use the compute resources whenever you needed them without having to own or maintain the resources for your own self. Like it's make computing easy, flexible, often less expensive. But you might think like how they are both relatable. So it is relatable in a way, like you have time bound in the library, that library will be open at 9 a.m. in the morning and it will be closes 5 or 6 p.m. in the evening. So you have a time. In that time you can like read many books as you can, do as many research as you can in that time period. But after that time period, if you want to read the book further or want to do assignment and you want book for a longer time period, you need to borrow a book. So coming to the point, like how it what is pay as you go, we heard about pay as you go. So if you want book uh, more than the time of the library, you have to borrow the book for the certain time period, maybe for a week, for a month, and you have to give a small fee for borrowing a book. So when you borrow a book, you are giving some sort of a fees, and if you are not returning on a time, you have to pay a fine according to a day, like per day fine you have to pay. So giving you an example from the library, like if you are borrowing book but you need for a longer time period and you cannot return the resource, so no need to worry, no one is coming to take your work. It will be going to charge you per day, and you have to pay a fees whenever you are returning the resource. That's how cloud computing is working on. Like it is a very simple example to understand how cloud is working on and how all this stuff is going on today, and how we are building an amazing solution over the cloud computing. So this is a basic idea of cloud computing. So here you can see a gigantic data center spread at so basically, okay, so we are going to the next slide and we'll be seeing what is the need. Like we understand like what is cloud computing, but why do we need cloud computing? Okay, so cloud computing is required because we see that if you just need for a particular time or you just need for your project, and you know that after a certain period of time you don't need this machine further on, so why to buy when you can just rent out the computing resource? So that's the beauty of the cloud computing. Like you can get the resources for the free for the certain period of time, then after that you will be going to charge for the resources that you are using for your application, and it make easy to access and share information from anywhere. And yes, so just a basic concept will start from the virtualization. So in earlier days we have gigantic data center, as you can see, and the problem is whenever anything goes wrong, or like if you have power failure or power outage, or with any issue, you have to replace the hardware. And when you are replacing the hardware, your data, your storage, or whatever is stored on the machine, it going to be, like you can say, uh, will be affected due to the change of the hardware. But if we think from the application perspective, like we have an application like a simple website and it is running on some computer. If you can see, we have old computer here, it is running on this computer. But uh, but suddenly there is an issue on this computer and it goes down, so your whole application will be down. You don't have any backup in place, and you can't do anything. So in that case, cloud computing come handy. So the data center you are seeing here, it is spread across the countries, across the regions, where you can place your application. And if one region goes down or any site goes down, so it will be goes up on another site. So this is again detail, but just giving you an overview that how it is came handy and how it is helpful in your resources managing project or doing any enterprise level thing. So that's how cloud computing works for you. So this is like an overview why, what is cloud computing and why do we need cloud computing. So now we talk about what are cloud service model. We might heard a lot about SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. So what are these? Like, what is the difference between these cloud service models? So we normally use software as a service. If we take an example, we have Outlook, we have OneDrive, where we are just interacting with our data, and we don't have any control over the you can say over the infrastructure. We are just managing our data, placing our data, and like only we have access to our data. Then moving forward, we have platform as a service, that that is acting as a application. You can say like the simple example is GitHub. We all use GitHub nowadays. We put our code repository. We can now use Copilot and do a lot of stuff over our code and maintain our code. So that is a application as a software, we where you can interacting with your application code, managing and even deploying from there without worrying about the electricity, or you can say the network or anything. You don't need to worry, you are just utilizing that service, but you have a control to make it more highly available, cost efficient. Like you have that control on the application level, but again you don't have much control over the infrastructure side. So what is infrastructure? Like we heard a lot about the infrastructure. We will be discussing about the infrastructure as a service. So basically, three things that make any infrastructure. First is compute, then we have network, then we have storage. By combining these three resources, we make an infrastructure. Like we have a laptop that has some you can say storage in the form of SSD. We have network setup, from that we are connecting with the Wi-Fi, and we have compute. the motherboard which is running our computer. So that's an idea of the infrastructure. So how it works on the application level. So basically, at infrastructure as a service, you have every control of your infrastructure with your application. So if you want to set up the network, you will be defined uh, from where the traffic is coming from the internet, or you want only private access that only the people within your organization interact with the application. So let me make it simple. I know there are students also joining this session. So just think of a house. So if you have a house, you have a doorbell, you have entrance for your home where people come in, and then you have guest room, and then your own sleeping room, and like a lounge and chilling room, and you can say a lot of rooms in your house. But you planned like how will someone will be entering into your house, and how will you be authenticating that person, like just by asking who are you, and like if you know that person you will authenticate, or you can come in that person into your home. So that's the whole idea of the infrastructure as a service. And if you want to know a little bit depth about it, so it is like you give the electricity points, like you place the buttons, you like add the lights in your home, that if you press this button this light will be open, or the fan or anything. So that's an idea. Like in infrastructure you are planning each and everything of your application, and on the back end, like on the infrastructure end, like how much electricity is needed for your home. So vice versa, how much compute resource required for your application to run, and how much storage. Similarly, in home you need storeroom to store the resources, and you need kitchen to like make the food. And like similarly we have these thing in infrastructure as a service. And yes, like then you will be thinking how network is working on and how we are doing that. So network is the pathway that defines where will be traffic coming on, who is allowed to enter your application, and the outbound inbound, like who will be in come into your home, and then who can get out from your home. So we have a lot of stuff, but you get an idea. If you can see here, the we on infrastructure as a service level we have more control, including the all the services, including all the management to the maintenance to the security. And we have lesser control in terms of the infrastructure. So the cloud provider is managing at their end and giving you more option to interact with the data. So it is up to you how you would like to utilize your application, or you can say your workload. So you heard about workload. So what is workload? So it is again important to know what is workload. We talk about workloads in cloud computing, we have to define our workloads. So here you can see there's a coffee shop and there's a long queue. So there are three people, or there are 10 people that can be easily managed by this coffee shop. But what if us suddenly 100 people comes up, and you don't have enough resource to manage those 100 people? So how will you define that workload, or how will you like in technical terms we like define this thing as a disaster recovery option. If suddenly something goes wrong, what you will be doing? Or you can say the auto scaling. What if this coffee shop hires a lot of employees for the traffic, but suddenly traffic drops and it like goes to 5 to 10, but suddenly it rise. So it will be difficult for the coffee shop owner to manage the expenses. Like if a day in a year, or you can say a week or a month in a year, the traffic going arises and then going to the normal, you don't need resources anymore. So that's how it's working on, like you enabling the auto scaling option. Like whenever you get the traffic on your application or in your coffee shop, so you automatically scale up your resources, and whenever it goes down, it will like uh, decommission your resources. So it is like hiring people for the part time whenever the traffic arises, and letting them go when the traffic goes to normal. So that's the workload, and that's the best part of cloud, that you have to only pay what you are using. So I think we have an idea till now what is cloud computing, why do we need cloud computing, what are different cloud service models, and then what are workloads. So from here, like from this workload, we decide either we have to go towards this software as a service, platform as a service, or we have to go towards the infrastructure as a service. So this workload defines your cloud model service. Either you want to use infrastructure, because if you are using infrastructure, it will need a lot of resources, human efforts to manage that thing. And again, it depends all on you, all on your organization, like how you would like to manage this stuff. And mostly we use platform as a service if we are like developing our university final year project or doing any semester project. We normally use platform as a service. So we have an idea now how to select a cloud service model according to our need. Okay. So till now we have discussed a lot, the theoretical part, the concepts. Now how to get started with Azure and claim free credits. So Azure is a cloud platform everyone knows, and it has growing services. So it has around 200 services plus, and it covers a range of different topics. AI, nowadays we have AI Foundry that is using for the AI agents, and all of the topics are covering in Azure. So initially, if you are a student, you get the free credits from the Azure just by verifying your university email. Here you can see, if you can go search for Azure for students, you will get the free credits just by verifying your emails. You don't need any credit card details. And if you are any professional and just want to explore Azure or just want to experiment with it, you can also get a free tier for free, but you need to add the credit card details. Then you will have the free services for free for the 12 months. You can see by going on the Azure Azure credits by searching on, and you will see what are the free options available for you. So this is an idea, like it is like very handy and very simple to use and to experiment with the Azure. So just an interesting part here. So we are mostly a technical group of people are here, and we just thought that cloud is only be helpful in the enterprise level or at some startup level. But have you ever think that you can use cloud for your personal use as well? Like if you are an individual and you don't have high spec computer or your laptop, you can simply create your own virtual machine and use it for your daily use without buying a new computer. It will be a cost friendly, and you can do a lot of your daily task without buying a whole new machine. And it is like you are getting free, I guess 750 hours free virtual machine hours, where you can use and like experiment, or you can use for your daily use. Even the best part that we never thought of, instead of purchasing expensive gaming PC and getting with the high specs, with again the risk of hardware failure, we still buy and like we try to make our gaming PC best. So why don't you think to make your virtual gaming PC by using it for a time being? You know, you will be going to play for 6 months or 3 months, and then you don't need further. Like, it's up to you. But this is the best part, you don't need to worry about the hardware stuff. You are just going to like play with the game without worrying about the hardware and again the electricity or the power outage. You have everything what you want using the Azure virtual machine. So this is another use case. When I just writing these slides, and I the idea came in my mind that we always talk of the cloud as like enterprise level or very complex thing, but it is not that complex. You can use for the daily use, or you can use as an individual. It is perfectly works fine as it is works for the enterprise level, and it will cost very cheaper than you buy a new like new PC. So it's up to you, but it is a great part of the cloud computing where you can create your own virtual machine. So we covered this up, and now coming to the technical thing like that we will be seeing in the demo. So here, just giving you an overview, I put an infrastructure diagram, or you can say solution architect diagram, how will it looks when we will be doing in a demo. So see, here you can see we have a traffic allow from the internet, which is going in using the public IP address, and then interacting with the virtual machine. And then you can see an operating system and then database. You can add the managed disk as well. And then we have you can attach the external SSD as well. You can attach any of the storage, or you can say blob storage for your infrastructure. So it's all up to you how you would like to design. But just to give you an overview, if you are deploying the virtual machine using Azure portal, so that is something that is building behind the scenes. And just to visualize what we are going to do in few minutes, like we will be allowing a DNS traffic, then we will be like allowing the traffic, inbound traffic from the internet, then it will be accessed from the public IP address. And then yes, once we enter into the virtual machine, from here, once we created our virtual machine, we will start deploying our web server, for which we all are here for the thing. So that's the basic idea. And here you can see some boxes, the resource group. So I will show you in few minutes what is resource group look like. So think of this like a box where you will be putting all the resources for your project, including your uh, machine. And then you can see the virtual network and then the subnet. So we'll not be going too depth in the networking, but just to giving you an idea that you create your own virtual network and then you define the subnets, and you can define multiple subnets for the availability zone. So here we are not like going too much depth, because this is you can say, if we go to the depth, so it is very depth deep, like, and we have to cover a lot of stuff. But this session is to give you an idea, and then you can explore further by your own self. So yeah, so last thing, availability zone. You heard a lot of region and availability zone. In region we have multiple availability zone. So just a simple example, we have a country which have three cities, and by any chance any of the city is affected by bad weather or power outage, your application will be not goes down. It will be still up in other two availability zone. Even you can make region by region availability zone as well, like one region in USA, one in Canada. So that's the idea of the availability zone. In availability zone there are multiple data centers within a city. So this is a basic concept of the availability zone and the regions, how it is actually working. So I think we are good to go, and now we have 30 minutes where we will be seeing the whole demo. how we will be building and then deploying our first web server. And yes, we'll be deploying an application on that web server. Okay, so without any further delay, let me share my screen and show you the Azure portal. Is my screen is visible? Okay, perfect.
Yes, we have
So
your
if you
screen.
okay, thank you. So if someone wants to follow with me, you can follow along with me and you can create the resources. If you don't have your Azure portal set up till now, so don't need to worry. You can see the demo here and then try later on. So yeah, once you are logged in into your Azure portal, it will look like this. And from here you are seeing the resource group virtual machines. So we'll go into the virtual machine. Okay, we'll be creating a new virtual machine. So when you click on the create virtual machine, you will be seeing three options. Create a virtual machine hosted by SEO, create a virtual machine with preset based on your workloads, the workload we discussed earlier. Then more VMs related solution, discover and deploy full workloads and Azure products for your business needs. So we'll be going with the preset configuration because we are doing this demo from the beginner perspective. So we are a startup founder and just started up with the Azure. So we'll be using preset configuration. Let's see how does it look like. Okay, so after clicking on the preset configuration, here you can see we have workload environments here. We can see dev test, we can see production, we can see our workload types. So the workload type we are discussing with the example of the coffee shop, it is something look like this here. First is general purpose that give you the equal resources for the compute and for the memory. And on other hand, we have memory optimized, we have compute optimized depending on your workload, what you want more and what your application demands more. So here we have two options, workload environments we can create for the dev test environment and we can create for the production environment as well. So that's the beauty of the preset configuration. It gives you very easy even if you are very new to the cloud. So we'll be going with the default options, production and general purpose. So continue to create a virtual machine. Okay, so you need a subscription to create the resources. So once you create your account, if you are a student, you will get the credits with the subscription. And even if you are going with the pay as you go option, you will also be seeing subscription here by default subscription. Okay, so here we have resource group. Okay, so I have one resource group. Previously AI agent demo will be adding here. So we'll be adding all the resources that we'll be creating for this virtual machine. So let's give the name VM demo. Okay, so here you can see it will create a new resource group for us and we can give a name to our virtual machine. Let's say demo VM. So it's up to you. Whatever name you want to give, you can give to your machine. So this VM is for just for the demonstration purpose. That's why I'm giving the name demo VM. Then the region that we are discussing earlier. So by going here, you can select any of the region. You can select the region which you are in. If your region is not available in the given list, you can select the nearby region as we don't have any Pakistan in the region, so we will be selecting UE North, which is closer to Pakistan. So yes, we'll be selecting UE North. Then we have availability zone. So you can select up to three availability zone, one VM per zone. So this is for the redundancy purpose. You will be creating a backup for your application, or you can say for your machine, that you don't want to lose your data. So you will be going with the availability zone. And here you can see we have skill sets and availability sets. So that is basically distribute VM across zones and fault domains at scale, and availability set that automatically distribute your VM across multiple fault domains. So this is again, it's up to you how you would like to go. So if we talk about availability zone, it will separate your resources within the Azure regions, like one in UE, one in India, and another in USA. Or availability sets is basically is within the availability zone, like in a within a availability zone, it will set within the multiple, like if we goes down, so it will be set within the within a data center, it will distribute your resources. And then we have skill that it will distribute across these zones. Okay, so you know, if you want that it will be in one zone and it distribute the resources within the one zone data centers, so you can select the availability set. Then for the skill set, you want that it will be distributed across multiple availability zones, so then you will select the skill set. And if you want that each resource should be in different Azure region, then you will can select the availability zone option. Okay, so you have an idea that how we are going to working here. And then you can select up to three availability zone, and then you can select further. But in our case, because this is a demo, we don't need we no not required any infrastructure redundancy, because we are just going to experiment here and just to see how it going to works. And then security type, you can leave as default, or you can see like what level of security you will be requiring, the basic level or confidential, according to your workloads, according to your requirements. You can select the security. So by default, it is trusted launch virtual machine protect against persistent and advanced attack on Gen 2 virtual machines with configurable feature like secure boot and virtual trusted platform. So this is for demo, so we are not much concerned here about the security, but you can select according to the needs. Again, the cost is the most crucial point while selecting this option. So it's totally up to you. So we are leaving this as in default. Then you can select the images. We have Ubuntu here, we have Oracle, we have Linux Enterprise Server, we have Red Hat Enterprise, and a lot of servers, a lot of operating system. So you have Windows 11 10 Pro and Windows 10 Pro that will be convert your virtual machine into the virtual desktop. So that's the difference between virtual machine and the virtual. The thing that you are going to use for your personal use will be your personal desktop, and the thing that you want to run your application or any enterprise level software, you will be selecting the server. So let's select the Ubuntu, and then you can select the VM architecture. You can run with Azure Spot discount. So you can read further, or if you are creating the virtual machine, you can go and learn more, because there are multiple pricing model. You can also pay upfront when your workload is known, that you know how much traffic is expected in any month. So you can select this option as well. So you can read further about it. Then you can select the size of the virtual machine. So this is recommended by the image publisher. So we'll be going by default. So here you can see it will cost me $175.2 per month, but we are just giving a try and just for the demo purpose. After the session, I will be deleting up this virtual machine. So we'll be going this with option, but you can select any of the option that is budget friendly. Even you can click on see all sizes and select any of the general purpose machine by seeing here. So it's totally up to you how you would like to proceed, and here you can see the cost as well. So yeah, this is to give you an idea that you can create your virtual machine of any size. Okay, mm, okay, so I miss my no issues. We can easily create again new demo. So I just come back to this tab and things goes vanish. So there is nothing created up until I created click on the create button. So don't need to worry. If this happens with you, it is all fine. Nothing is created till now. So we are just giving the name again. This is the all options. We'll be selecting no infrastructure redundancy required. Then we selecting image, then we leaving this to standard. Then yes, we'll be using SSH public key. So we'll be requiring, yeah, we will be needing a new key pair with RSS SSH format and VM demo key. Okay, that's fine. Now from here you can uh, allow the inbound ports. So by default SSH is allow because we'll be using SSH key to get into our machine. We can also allow HTTPS and HTTP. So this will okay. So now from internet you can access this machine. So this is just to give you an idea. It is not necessary to allow all the ports. It's according to your need. If you want someone or you want your engineers to uh, like you can say like access this from the internet, then you can allow HTTPS port or HTTP. Okay, so from here it is giving us a warning. This allow IP address to access across your virtual machine. This is only recommend for testing purpose. So it is giving you warning. So if you are by mistake you are allowing something, it will give you an warning and help you out. Okay, so this is the basic settings. We'll be moving to the next step, but just to give you an idea. If you are still confused at this point and you don't know what we are doing or you feeling overwhelmed and very confused at this point, so no need to worry. You can just simply come to this page virtual machine and you can click on by default prompt help me create a low cost virtual machine, and Copilot will help you out. So just to give you an idea, like we heard a lot about the AI nowadays. So here you can see how Copilot will be helping us in developing our whole infrastructure in low cost. So it asking us few options, asking us what kind of workload you want to handle web server database, and then how intensive is your workload, and then is this VM for production use or for a development testing environment. So by answering this question, it will fill out the whole form by your own self for yourself. Oh, sorry, for you, it will fill out the whole uh, virtual machine form for you, and you just need to create on create. So, what are the best VM sizes for a web server? And you can see these options, so you can try these as well. But due to time constraint, we will not playing with this thing, and we'll be going manually. So here you can see we have the option of VM disencryption that we see in the solution architect diagram. So we'll be leaving everything by default, and yeah, please take this option while you are experimenting with the virtual machines, because once you are deleting the virtual machine, if you don't take this option, the disk will be created. Like, this will not be deleted automatically. You need to go and delete manually. So it is a good practice. If you are experimenting, just click this. So once you are deleting the resource, it will be deleted with the virtual machine, and you can create a new one for the new virtual machine. Then you have data disk for VM machine. If you want to attach any existing disk, like, this could be handy when you are migrating your virtual machine from other cloud providers or from on premises to the cloud. So this is the idea of the storage that we discussed earlier. Then we have networking. Okay, so it is creating a new virtual network for us and creating a new subnet. So we are leaving this thing uh, by default for now. But you can go and create your own virtual network by your own self and define the subnet accordingly and define the whole route table for your machine. So we'll be leaving everything by default here. Just we'll be clicking this delete the public IP and NIC when VM is deleted. So we'll be not charged like, this is the thing in earlier days where I got charged because I don't check this option. So this is a best practice again while practicing a virtual machine. So once you are deleting resource, this will also be deleted. So we have load balancing that we discussed earlier. If you want to traffic load across multiple regions or within the availability zones, so you can choose this option. We have Azure load balancer, and it will create multiple virtual machines depending on the traffic. Okay, you have an idea. So will we move forward because we are running late in time. Okay, enable shutdown. So again, it is up to you how you would like to go with it. You can set the shutdown time. So I will be leaving everything for default, but you can uncheck if you don't want auto shutdown. So again, it depends how you want your application to work. If you want your application 24/7 available, so you can uncheck this option. And if you want that after a certain period of time you don't want your machine to be run, then you can shut down your machine. Then you have backup option. Then you have enable periodic assessment. So we don't need these options, and we'll be leaving by default for now. Then we have recommend alert rules. This is very helpful for any startup or for any project. It will send you an alerts whenever you hit the threshold. So here you can see the by default, it's taking some time, it's loading. So yeah, here you can see there are by default some rule setup. If your CPU percentage reached 80%, it will send you an alert over your email. Then there are by default, and you can create one by your own self. So just to give an idea, this is a best practice, and this is the best approach to work under the budget. Because whenever you hitting thresholds or reaching any billing, you will be getting alert before that, and you can easily manage that resource. So for now we are unchecking, but this is a good practice again. And then we'll move to the next advance, and yeah, leaving this. So you can select many services from here, advanced settings, or even you can use this to add custom data. And like, yeah, you can select a VM application to install with the virtual machine, so you can use these options. So let's go and review create, because we have 10 minutes now. Okay. Okay, so here it is showing us that we will be cost charging by per hour 0.240. So it is like nothing. It is like a zero. So yes, after you click, you can see the settings you have set for your virtual machines. Just quickly going through it. And yeah, we are all good to go and we'll be hitting create. Okay, so it asking us to download private key and create a source. Yes. So our private key is downloaded, and here you can see that our virtual machine is started, is in progress. So it will take up to few minutes, but we have uh, our private key. So let's wait for a few minutes, and till then it will be created. Mm, okay, so it's going fast. Here you can see the progress. It's set created our virtual network, set it up demo IP, and things are working fine, and it is creating compute resources for us. And even you can see the operation details from here. Okay, so the time being it is created, let me open the CMD. Okay, it is created. That's nice. So we'll be going to the resource, and parallelly we will be opening the file location where our private key is stored. So by going to the folder, we just write CMD, and CLI will be open. Okay. Now we have to do an SSH that we set up for the application, and now we'll be connect our application, connect with SSH. And this is the best feature I find of Azure, that you don't need to copy paste by your own self or assuming the path, and like this is the most hustling path while setting up. So what we are doing here, we will be just giving the path, and it will give us the whole command to SSH. Okay, so we'll be going here and copy the path. Okay, sorry. Let me do this. And we'll be typing manually. Downloads, or we don't need to write download because we are in already in download. So we can just give the file name. What is the file name? Because we already opened the CMD from the download folder. Sorry, from the download directory. So we are already in download by default. So just write VM demo key, and we'll be pasting that in the CMD, and we paste it here, and it asking for the authentication. Yes. Okay, so we are into our virtual machine. So that's how it easy it is. Like no need to worry, or no need to hustle on the command side. You just need to put the path, and it will give you the whole command. So that's the best user experience in Azure. Now we'll be doing some quick updates. Okay, so I already copied the commands for the time. So we have just will be, yeah. So we'll be updating the updates of the Ubuntu, and it will takes few minutes depending on your internet connection. But it is like you can say you set up your machine, and now we are like I just copy pasted the commands so that we don't need to wait for the commands. So you can just simply search for the commands over the internet, or you can do chat gpt, and this thing will be like you will find the commands. So these are the basically Linux. So if you know the Linux, so it is very easy for you. So here we install the Apache server, from which we'll be deploying our application. So here you can see it is installing our Apache server over the virtual machine. Okay, okay, yes. Our server is created. Now moving to start this server. because we are running out of time. Okay, then we select this command. So don't need to worry about the commands. You will be finding easily, or if you know the Linux, it is very easy for you. So here you can just see the commands and see how we are deploying our server. Okay, so our server is up, but how we can make sure this thing? So to make sure this thing that web server is installed and running on our system, you can simply go on the Azure portal and click on overview, and you can where's my public IP? Okay, from here you will be finding your public IP. Just click on this. Oh, we don't need to click on public IP. We need to copy paste and on the browser, and we'll be seeing our web server. Okay, let me copy paste. So it is loading. Let's see, is our application web server is deployed or not. So yeah, it's loading. It's not, why it's not working. Okay, there's something wrong at wrong. Let me see. VM demo network interface.
Sorry, Mohammed, can I add some things?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, maybe I think the inbound connection you need to add the 80 port HTTP. I think you add just the HTTPS because
Yeah, yeah, you were right. But I tried with HTTPS here as
okay.
well.
Could you check inbound connection?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Maybe you can't add HTTP because I can see you add a SSL certificate in your server.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, you're right. So let me quickly create inbound port rule here. Okay, let HTTP allow. Any HTTP traffic. Let's see now. Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for figuring out.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Thank you for the interrupting. So yeah, so you have to, like, this is a small thing that I don't take care of, but if you are trying by your own self, so these are the small troubleshooting steps. Don't need to worry. Don't need to panic. You can simply come on the networking by navigating through this navbar. You can come on the networking, click on networking settings, and here you can see the allow ports. If you are doing the same mistake that I do, so you can simply create a new port rule, and tada, our server is deployed and it is running. And yeah, this is the simple thing. Like, a minor mistake can lead you to the panic attack. But yes, that's how you can do. We It's 10 p.m., but I want to show you one thing, like how you can edit this thing, like edit the code here. So just a basic idea, like we will be just editing, like not editing the whole index.html or creating a whole website, just to showing you where this code is. Oh, uh, okay. Okay, so this is still Linux, so don't need to worry about this thing. Okay. Oh, we forget to mention cd. Let me paste the command really quick. Okay, so we are here in the war folder. Here in the war you have www, then you have html file where this file is located. So just to show you how this file looks like in a code and how we are showing this page, so sudo nano index.html. So yeah, from here you can see the code, the server we have deployed, the page we are currently seeing, it is here. And will You can modify it or you can delete and add your code, even you can clone the github, but now you have an idea how it is working. So just a quick add, we will be adding hello here. So we will be seeing that we can edit this code and it is visible. Let me go quickly here. We are here body, let me say. and and yes, control X, and you can close the file by control X, and we'll refresh this page. Yeah, here you can see the hello. So from here, just to give you an idea, once you deploy your server, Apache server, you can go and edit that file. Even you can clone your whole repository or you can create your own files. So that's the whole idea, like how you will be creating your Apache server, and then how you will be deploying. So there are a few commands, and just by entering the few commands you will be showing the result like this in this page. Once you see this page, your web server is fully deployed and go to deploy your application. So that's the idea. And also we do a troubleshooting step, thanks to our host, to identifying the error and figuring out that how we can resolve. So yeah, we see how we can create, deploy, and how to troubleshoot the basic errors. Yeah, that's it for all from my end. I will be sharing a few resources with you guys from where you can simply follow this tutorial. And if you have any question in your mind, or like missed this step, or you want to do more experiments, you can go through this documentation, and we have a complete guide how you can deploy a website to Azure virtual machine. So you can go through this learning path and learn how you can deploy your virtual machine, and then how you can deploy multiple workloads. Even you can deploy the full stack application as well. So we'll be sharing this guide with you, so you can experiment with all of these. Thank you. That's all from my end. So
Great, great.
let's.
Thank you very much again. It was very great presentation and real example. And guys, if you have a, you can try in your site. You can watch more again this presentation. And also, we have a one general question. Let me share with you.
Okay, who make cloud computing? So that's an interesting
Yeah,
question. So I don't know the exact person name who make it, but
yeah,
definitely there will be engineers who will be making this thing
yeah,
and figuring out the problem and identifying the solution. So I
yeah.
don't know the exact person name.
Yeah, actually, generally, based off the infrastructure side, the actually cloud provider create the infrastructure, network connection, other things. But in our side, you can create compute resource like as you see in the Mohammed presented. You can create a virtual machine, and we are responsible to our data, other things. But infrastructure side, cloud provider is a responsible. Okay, thank you again, guys. I think there is no more
Yes.
question. If you have in the future you have a question, you can connect to Muhammad, ask your question, and other things you need to more from Muhammad. Thank you, Muhammad, again. Thank you, guys, for
Thank
this
you.
session. Have a great
And
day.
one last thing I would like to add,
Okay.
like we see here that we do everything from the scratch level, from the
Mhm.
infrastructure as a service, but you can do similar thing. Like you just have a static website and you just want to deploy that thing. You don't need to handle a lot of these networking settings or a lot of the underlying things that we do here. So you can also
Mhm.
use Azure App Service, which
Yeah,
is much more simpler and easier for you to just go live on the production. So you can
exactly,
also use
exactly.
app service. Again, depends on your application, on your needs.
Yeah,
But yes, we have that service as well. If someone have the question that it is very complex process, why do I create the whole server? So you don't need to create one. You have another service for that thing. Just simply go to the Azure App Service and create your own application and connect the database. And Microsoft team will handling everything for you on the back
yeah,
end.
for sure, for sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.